Ahoy hoy. Welcome to the stream. This is Players and Book. I hope you guys are ready to go to Frogtown. Is everybody ready for Frogtown?
Yes.
I, I,
Yes.
I mean,
So
I
ready
want
for the frogs.
Frogtown. I don't know if I'm ready for it though. We're
I
about to
don't-
find out.
I don't know if anyone could be ready for Frogtown.
There is
fair.
no way to prepare for Frogtown.
Mm-mm.
No preparation, just joy.
Just joy and frog.
Just
frog.
joy and doing leaps.
Yes.
Just working on those quads.
and no jokes about frog legs. None. No jokes.
Oh, very much. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that would be.
bad.
That would be real
Yeah.
mean.
Frog legs would be in poor taste.
Mhm.
Oh.
Boom, boom. Ch.
And avoid saying you're a little horse. Because they prefer hearing there's a frog in your throat.
And definitely avoid
Okay.
any frog
I'm not
related.
good at
no.
dad jokes.
Oh no. Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay.
That'd work if we were like in, I guess, like in a nursery for centaurs. You can't be a little horse.
Yeah.
Other
yeah.
than that,
I just figured the frogs would get jealous, because, you know.
oh.
Mhm.
Well, let us go around the table and everybody can introduce themselves again. I think we'll probably do that every session because that makes the most sense. I believe we were starting with you, right, Lauren?
Oh, we're starting with Goblin.
Yeah,
But-
it's me.
Oh, Goblin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go
It's
ahead.
me.
I grabbed it from last time, so.
I was about to open it up and look. Yeah.
It's me. Hi, I'm the Goblin. It's me. My name is Katie Downey. I'm being weird. I am excited to be here with my wonderful friends playing this fabulous game, wherein I, Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie, play Dominique, who is a College of Eloquence bard. She is a Triton, and just so happy to be here with all of her friends.
I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content manager over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find what I'm doing at lauren-urban.com. I usually keep this really short, but I will say that I wrote on a project for Randall Hampton called the Little Game Master's Guide, which got nominated for an Emmy, and I'm very excited. So if you happen to be going to Gen Con, I might win an Emmy. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm more excited about tonight, where I get to play Fairlos, who is a Tabaxi cleric who is actually very interested in meeting all of these frogs.
Hello, I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on the interwebs as @DreamWisp or on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I do a bunch of things, all sorts of things. If it involves storytelling, I probably do that in some capacity. But tonight I am playing your friendly neighborhood tsunami druid, Rivulet, who's gonna make a splash.
Hey.
Oh.
I love it.
That's today. It's today.
It's all
apparently that's what we're doing today. It's
We're
It's
doing
happening.
that's what's
puns.
happening.
I wish I could think of one on the fly. It'll come to me later. But in the meanwhile, hi, I'm Latia. I keep looking at my mic and not my camera. That's weird. Hi, I'm Latia Jaquise. You may know me from such places as the internet. I am the community manager for D&D at Wizards of the Coast. But today, I am playing Esiqua Havenwright, the blade singing wizard who is just here to have a good time and make friends with a frog and a wizard hat.
Yes.
Sing a song with a sharp edge.
Yeah. See, Jen is the master storyteller.
There's a
She's-
better one there, but I can't get it yet today.
I'm Jeremiah Sumerian. You guys probably know me from, well, if you're coming here from the SCP Wiki, I'm an author over there. I run a YouTube channel in that particular niche. And now that you guys are in Frogtown, I hope you're all hoppy. All right,
Boom, boom.
Oh,
let's get into it.
oh,
It's
We're
just
gonna do
oh,
these.
Sue
Oh,
coming in
come
with
for the frogs,
the-
stay for the pain.
yeah.
Oh,
Let's do the I'm gonna do the episode summary for our last session to get both our players and our audience caught up. Episode 1, an awfully big adventure. Four students from the Avalen Mystic Mariners Academy on a short training cruise find themselves devoured by a kraken. Upon awakening in the belly of the beast, the four students get their bearings and begin to look for the captain and one of the fellow students who has gone missing. They do not find anyone else, but they do come upon a chest that appears to be lodged in the stomach lining of the Kraken. Opening it, they recover a flask of green liquid and a small stone broken off of some larger geometric shape. Upon examination, the stone flashes and several of the bones in the Kraken's stomach animate. The students make quick work of the skeletons and find their way out of the open mouth of the creature. There on the beach, they see the Kraken is indeed dead. They speak to a woman named Cassandra outside and her frog companion, Reginald. Gaining some information, including the fact that an owl they assume to be their fellow student, the shape-shifting druid Abelina, they decide to go back in to search for Captain Grug Grimtooth, their teacher. They don't find him, but they do eventually recover the chest and discover it's a chest of anchoring. Outside, Cassandra and Reginald have begun cutting off steaks from the Kraken to take home. The students agree to help carry some meat back, and the whole group heads to Frogtown. Along the way, they encounter a group of pirates led by Captain Colin. The pirates are arguing with a goat-sized frog in a wizard hat. The students discover that the pirates hired a number of frogs and bullywugs a week and a half ago. The purpose, they were told, was to help recover some treasure on the other side of the island. But none of those other hired hands have ever been heard from since. The party extract a promise from the pirates to send letters to Frogtown from the missing workers, and the pirates depart. Frog in a wizard hat invites them to meet Big Frog and Bigger Frog, the leaders of Frogtown, and the party accompany the frogs and bullywugs to Frogtown. It is 7:35 p.m. on Dawn's Day, the 8th of Dreams. The sun is still up and will remain so for a couple of months. About 75 miles east of here, though the party doesn't know it yet, a halfling wizard and a tabaxi paladin are stealing a pirate ship. But let's come together here in the south of Frogtown as you approach.
I
I'm
don't
real
know why,
curious
but
about
my
that pirate
hackles-
ship.
Yeah, my hackles just rose for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
That is so strange. I got the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I feel like my friend is about to do something very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
Yeah,
Rivulet?
fine.
Anything?
No, not really.
Huh. I say
I'm
we go
glad
with
it-
her gut. It seems the least paranoid of us. So, we are meeting frogs.
Yeah, I was hoping I could take you up to meet the big frog first, and if she says it's okay, we could have you meet the bigger frog.
What do you all
That
think?
sounds like a plan.
Just to be clear, these are not just titles, but actual names. Big Frog and Bigger Frog.
That's what we've always called them. Y'all have brought up a lot of interesting concepts around the idea of names that I haven't really ever considered. They might have other names now that you're asking, and I haven't thought to call them anything else.
You know, names are what you make of them. So,
If they wanted you to call them something else, by now they surely would have said something.
precisely.
That's what I always tell them.
But I want to be clear about something because I have an impression in my head that I would absolutely love to make sure is the real one. Big Frog is a big frog. And Bigger Frog is bigger than Big Frog?
Oh, yes.
I would say that is an accurate summation of their sizes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Fantastic.
These are not ironic names. These are actual descriptive names. Okay. Well, then I guess lead on to Big Frog and to Bigger Frog.
Yeah, I'm gonna take these steaks over. I'll get some of these. And a couple of bullywugs come over and start like taking the Kraken steaks off of your Tensor's floating disc. And Reginald also vomits up like 1.5 steaks from his stomach. And
I
then
mean,
he
it's an
hops-
accurate description, but
It
still.
is.
It's, yeah.
Frog
then he-
upholding.
And then he hops up off of Cassandra's head and over onto Frog in a Wizard Hat's back, actually. And Cassandra says, "Are you sure you wanna?" And he's like, "Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit." All right, all right. I'll handle this. If you, yeah, I'll see you later then. And Dominique, you hear obviously his. I would very much like to go with these people and meet with the big frog. I think I might have business with the big frog and bigger frog as well.
Yeah, if you would prefer, I can take you up, as Her Highness usually does.
I would very much appreciate that. Actually, I don't like to ride on the back of Mr. Frog in a Wizard hat's back. So
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I've got you. And she'll reach out and collect him.
fair enough.
She's got
and
like a frog on her hip.
Frog in a Wizard hat, Reginald, and the party. I'm gonna move. Let me see if I can grab everybody at once.
Going on an adventure.
You guys
Whoa!
end up here. Frog in a Wizard hat has you sit around here, and you hear a loud noise. It sounds like something very large is moving in the distance. That kind of just start, and then you look to your left, and a massive frog, not a bullywug, or at least it doesn't look like it's a bullywug. A massive frog that's standing up on two legs starts to make her way from the left-hand side to the little opening here at the top of the map. And allow me one moment here. Sits down. She has a little flower on top of her head, and not actually that little. Actually, it's much bigger than all of you. It's about as big as two of you put together, so it's not that small. But it is small for her. She's just a nice little hat, and she sits down and goes, "Oh my God, hi! It's such an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Bonjour!
Oh my God, it's friendly new people. Oh, the last new people that came by were so mean.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is that those people who were looking for workers?
Yeah, they were
Ugh.
really mean for no reason.
We ran into them. They were so rude. And clearly they have never seen the inside of a boutique. I'm just noting your gorgeous hat. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I very much appreciate good taste.
And me as well. My name is Dominique. I apologize. These are my friends. This is Fairless. This is Essequa. This is Revulette. And
It's a
this,
pleasure to meet you.
and I understand you know Reginald?
Yes. Hi, Reginald. What are you up to these days? Ribbit. Well, one of these days you'll manage to, fulfill the requirements of your curse. But until then, I don't really think we should have a conversation. Sorry.
Ooh.
I feel that there is a scandal afoot. Perhaps we should dance around it. Quick, someone say something.
Hi. You are the Big Frog. They call you. Do you? We understand that they call you Big Frog, but is that actually your name? And do you have a name that you would prefer that we call you other than Big Frog?
You're the first person to ask me that in like 500 years. Well,
I'm happy to do that, I think.
I used to go by the name Meg. The bullywugs and frogs around here, they kind of eventually over enough centuries start to shorten our names down, and I used to be Meg Frock.
Okay.
My father's Bagger Frock.
Okay.
Hey, that reminds me. Dad! And she like yells and stomps one of her feet on the ground. And
Is Dad Bigger Frog?
I think Dad is Bigger Frog. Oh, Dad is very Bigger Frog. Oh.
I unfortunately don't have a map that has both of them on it, so we're just gonna have to live
We're
with what
just
we've
gonna
got here.
focus on this. Good God.
Oh my god!
Can you describe for those that
I'm
might
about
be just
to.
listening at home?
So, as she says that, an eyeball opens in the ground that you're standing on, moving vast amounts of water. And the eyeball is probably, actually, I can measure this. I don't have to say probably.
Oh yeah.
Give me a second here. Where's the measurement tool? There it is.
We are standing on Bigger Frog.
The eyeball is about 40 feet across.
Is Bigger Frog the island?
Who awakens me from my... Oh, hi.
Bonjour.
Are you
Hello.
new visitors?
Yes.
Fairlos very slowly lifts up the giant hammer that she'd had just like resting at her side on the ground that now she knows is a frog, and she just kind of picks it up very gently. Hello, sorry, we were unaware that we were treading on your face.
That's all right. Everybody walks on my face anyway. It's a pleasure to meet new people. Meg, what's going on? Oh, well, I thought you'd want to meet the new people. They're very nice. And maybe they can help us with the thing.
Oh, I love things. What is this thing?
Well, and I should be clear here. There's no way I can replicate it. Understand that this thing is, the island you're standing on.
Yeah.
So when it speaks, it rumbles you and everything else around you. Well, are you sure? I think so. Look at them. They gotta be trustworthy. They said my hat looked cool.
It does look very cool.
It is
Also,
so
we do understand that we are fairly new to Frogtown, and that the visitors that you've previously had were
dicks.
less dicks. But we met them and we don't like them, which I think is probably in our favor. And we heard about what they might be doing to your fellow Frogtown friends, and we are interested in helping.
It's true. They went and they actually extracted a promise to get some letters so we could make sure that they're safe.
So we have 24 hours to go to their camp and find them.
Yeah, they're probably not. I don't sense them on the island anymore, so I didn't want to.
You have a sense of everyone that is on this island.
I do. It takes me a little bit of concentration to find someone, but eventually I can. I don't know where they are right now, but I know they're on the other island that isn't part of me, which is what makes it a little harder. But I'm gonna start looking if you all could maybe go over there and find out what happened to our people.
I think that is a good idea. Can you sense your people?
Not at all, which is not a great sign.
Out of curiosity, the other island, is that also actually a frog?
No, that's
It's a chicken.
an old project of mine.
I'm so curious.
I am fascinated.
So curious.
It would be very complicated for me to explain.
Well, you know what?
Let's-
Let's not worry about it right now.
Okay.
We can talk about this later, because we don't have all the time in the world, but there's clearly something a bit more pressing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if it was actually explained, but we washed up ashore after our boat was attacked by a kraken, and we are hoping in the morning to be able to contact some of our teachers back at school to let them know. We will eventually need to get back there, but I see no reason why we cannot help you in the meanwhile.
I appreciate that. And also, that happened on me, so I actually know about that stuff.
Oh.
I was just gonna ask.
Um,
Did it
Y-
itch?
a lot, actually, and it still does a little bit, but there's not much can be done about that. I have itches all the time that I
I
can't
can
scratch.
only imagine it felt like when something, it's on your back, because you obviously, well, I don't know if you have eyes everywhere, but I can only imagine there are places that you don't see where things wash up. Just would be uncomfortable.
Oof.
It
I would
is
think.
extraordinarily uncomfortable, and I appreciate that you're willing to, I appreciate that you appreciate how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah, like, I feel like
Actually.
it probably like scratched one itch, only then to become another itch in itself.
Mm.
Perhaps our timelines align well because I still need to find I need to find where they took our people exactly, and I probably won't know until the morning. So, if you're willing, and you need to wait till the morning anyway, I can make sure that you get plenty of food and drink. You are probably famished and a little dehydrated if you spent a long time in the belly of a kraken. Um, and I think yeah, I think that's a good idea. If you'd like, you can go to the tavern. It's just and like uh could you he says, "Could you point out the tavern, honey?" And his daughter points over to another place. It's over there. It's really nice.
I like to imagine that like he can't point, so he actually kind of like looks
Just
in
kinda
its
looks.
direction.
It
Yeah.
does like slightly move a little bit, yes.
I feel like every time the eye moves, there's like a little whoosh,
A
a
ripple in the
little
water.
ripple
Yeah.
of like a small
Absolutely.
wave.
Absolutely is, yes.
I love
We
this.
appreciate your hospitality. That is very, very kind.
If you guys happen to come upon I came and he uh a piece of paper materializes in front of you.
Ah.
I've come across a few of my old journal entries washing up on the beach.
Oh.
And I
These
was
are
Yes. If you could get those for me, I would very much appreciate it because there's a lot of, I guess, nostalgia is probably the best way to put it, towards, my old thoughts. And also, they're really, it's the kind of stuff that probably shouldn't be in the hands of common pirates.
Insight.
Okay. You'd like to insight the giant island sized frog.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to know
Go
if these
ahead.
are his writings or not.
Yeah, it seems pretty odd that. I mean, just the manual dexterity required. I mean, there's miniature painting and there's trying to write on a journal page when you're the size
ahead
of an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
I would like to roll an insight check about something slightly different.
Okay. What you got?
Given that this is Latia speaking, but like given that Reginald is under a curse and that Meg seems to not want to talk about that, I'm
Mhm.
wondering if Reginald is like not the only one under a curse. So I kind of like to roll. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can think about that without asking them directly, but I kind of want to roll to see if there's something just a little off about these frogs other than the fact that they're very large.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that insight. As for your roll, Dominique,
It's not good.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Latia, you do not get the impression at a 19. You don't get the impression that Bigger Frog is under the effects of a curse. It could be possible. One thing you picked up, and you're as the resident intelligence caster of the party, this is something you would have remembered. A smaller detail that came up in the last session we played was a mention that the older a frog gets, or I should say, older a bullywug frog gets, the bigger they get.
Okay.
Now, bullywugs don't normally live in the hundreds of years range. But if he really is 1,000+ years old, it wouldn't be completely unreasonable for at this point him to have become this size.
Okay.
Although the idea of this would be exceptional. Like it makes like it's one of those things where it's like it could happen, but if it did, this is the kind of thing when you tell your professors about it, they're going to be very impressed.
Yeah. It's like that tortoise who's living a really, really long time right now.
Mhm.
He's not necessarily getting bigger, but he's really old, and that's really cool.
And we're all
Um,
just
um,
here for it.
Lobsters do that, don't they? We think that lobsters potentially are immortal,
Mhm.
and it's just that eventually they
Eventually,
stop
the molting.
being. Yeah, they can't
Yes.
make a shell big enough for themselves, which sounds very philosophical now that I've said that out loud while standing on a giant frog.
There are a number of different sea creatures that will continue growing as long as they can sustain it, and that's
Yeah.
how they live forever. There are a few things that do that.
There's a lot
That's-
of messed up
that's
stuff
cool.
under the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
That's your insights.
Yeah. Do you know how many? I mean, how many pages did you write? Because
It's it's multiple journals worth of pages. But I mean, I've just only had a few have started washing up on the shore. If you want to keep this one so you can compare it to anything you find in the future, until you bring me back the whole set or as much as you can find.
Yeah, because I mean, I pull out my own spell book and I pull out a couple of the pieces. And we've already found some, so I guess we'll just keep
nice.
looking.
Awesome. Let me put this in your journals real quick.
Me journal.
Wait, where's
I
the?
need another.
He's like a wholesome slender man.
It's like a wholesome slender man.
Except the size of an island. A wholesome, slender. Yeah, I don't know.
Slender frog.
Slender
All
frog.
players. Save changes. And I'll go ahead and read this one to you guys, since it's coming now. You know the voice of the creature that created it.
Yeah.
It's been 2 months since Lenore left. The sun hasn't returned. The temperature continues to fall. Our food supply ran out a week ago. I can cast Goodberry, and that's keeping some of us going, but there's only enough for half of us, so we are alternating which days we eat. Worse yet, the problem solver says the abjuration wards are fluctuating. We'll try to come up with a more permanent solution, but we're mostly focused on finding a better source of food. This isn't necessary, but if you want to try and decipher what problem solver means,
I would like to.
okay. Roll a. I think we're settling on a history check for these.
Sure.
And the DC for this is for you.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
It's
Less
25.
than that.
That works.
Problem solver is a computer.
Interesting. Okay.
Which again doesn't have a modern component, but counterpart. But you've read enough of old books that you've recognized it as a concept.
So you've been around since.
The Kasari?
I'm sorry, I'm having a very hard time trying to figure out how to say this in the most delicate way possible, so I'm just going to say you were around when the world broke.
Yes, and then I, maybe foolishly, swore an oath to protect the problem that's going on the other island. And I feel as though that oath has kept me going ever since.
What is going on?
You
on the
keep
other
referring
islands?
to this problem on the other island. Would you care to elaborate before you send us into the problem on the other island to our doom? Or excitement. I'm curious about it, but I'd love to know more.
Agreed.
I really don't mean this in any way to be insulting. I'd not 100%
Anything that you preface with that respectfully
I know. Yes,
is automatically
but
the
the
thing that
words
you're-
the words that I need to describe the problem don't exist in modern language.
Okay.
Not insulting, that's just a fact. We've been having a little bit of trouble reading these journal entries because of that. So I do not think that is
Well,
anything
how would
that
you
need.
describe it in non-modern language? I'm always
Okay.
curious about ancient languages, and it's always an
we-
interesting spectacle.
We had a mystical energy source
Mm-hmm.
that emits energy that we don't harvest that is damaging to people.
All people, or
Is this about the thing that we read about in the other letter, the other journal?
Can I? Okay, so
The-
having successfully translated some of his journal entries,
Sure.
is this like a radiation leak?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So,
do we know about hazmat suits?
bigger frog. Pardon me if I'm stepping if I'm stepping into things that I probably shouldn't be stepping into. But are you saying that there is essentially a radiation leak on the other island?
That eye pops open just a little bit more than it already was and goes, "Yes, I'm sorry. I've severely underestimated you. I apologize."
That's fine. I read a lot. I do a lot of reading. I'm the one who's been more or less translating your journal entries. So you said there you have journal entries that mention a reactor and like spent fuel rods, and now this one there's something about a computer. So I mean, I'm not super familiar with what you were doing, but I've read enough to at least know the words you're talking about. So I mean, maybe it's a good thing we came here. We
Are you
might
familiar with the inner workings of a divine twin reactor?
No. I mean, maybe I might have seen a model of one, barely.
I'm going to ask because he said divine.
Yes.
Am I? Because I
Both
work with a
you-
divine
yeah.
being.
Both you and Essequa, at the mention of that, because we've already established that you guys have read a lot of stuff, because we established you as well in the last session.
Yeah.
I've read
You're
a lot
the
of the historical
bookworms.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm just
Um,
the fantasy part of the reading, though. I don't do history, which is
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
go ahead and make, I'm going to call it a DC 15 history check, both of you.
All right. Well, holy mackerel!
Just
All right.
missed it.
Whoa!
It's my turn to roll a natural 20,
Wow,
which gave
and
me
this-
a 21.
Yeah, I know. This works out really well as a divine, as a divine caster. So, a long time ago, there used to be more gods. More than 7. A lot more than 7. Something happened to them. You're not really sure about what exactly happened to them, but they disappeared. But the old Kasari Empire had a plan for generating power with using captured gods. What they would do is they would go to a place and somehow pull out 2 diametrically opposed gods. So like a god of happiness and a god of sadness. Put them in a box and force them to fight and use the resultant energy to boil water to run a reactor.
So,
I just
Carlos is
have
having
to
a-
say real quick. I'm playing in a home game that's set in this same world, and in light of what we encountered last night in that game, this just became tremendously terrifying. Oh my god!
The funny thing about it is Fairlos is, like she knows her god, but she's not necessarily that religious. There's not a lot of the connection is like mutual understanding, and so this moment of, well, here's what she's gonna say. She's gonna go, okay, I thought this was just a really dark fantasy that I'd read once, but apparently a long time ago the old Kasari Empire was able to capture gods and make them fight to boil water. Now, I have many theological questions about that, which is also something I have never had before, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out. Are we going to this island to free a bunch
Just
of gods?
any gods and have them fight. That seems.
Oh God, no! We
like
don't
a-
want to.
Gods that were already angry with each other. The god of sunshine and the god of darkness. These are gods that are no longer here because they're probably trapped in a reactor
As
somewhere.
a philosopher and a philosophy student, Riv is like, but they're the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
I think
They're unified in purpose, but take different approaches. It's the exact same. Why would you? That's completely counterintuitive. So Riv starts going off on this whole existential. Why would they do that? Of course, it's gonna not work.
Does anyone have a soft, warm blanket we can wrap around Riv?
Oh no, Riv's. This is Riv's like. This is what.
No, this is
happy.
their
Oh, this
niche.
is the happy.
This is
Wait,
okay. This is what I do. Riv is a
I misunderstood. I
philosophy
thought it was like
student.
an anxious existential spiral.
Riv-
but-
No, that's
okay.
Fairlos is having the anxious.
Okay.
Fairlos is anxious. Riv loves the mysteries of the universe and loves when mystery can be made concrete. So like
Yeah.
the allegory of the cave is the greatest thing ever because it's a concrete example of philosophy. So gods in a box fighting is a concrete example of philosophy, and also like something that it's a Schrodinger's gods in a box because
That's
it
exactly what I was
shouldn't
saying.
work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
apparently it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's very much not like a book reading sense of things. It's an investigation of mystery for Riv. So yeah.
And meanwhile, Fairlos, eventually, as Rivulet is going down this fun path, Fairlos is going to say, "Are we supposed to let them out of the box?"
Yeah, he's not going to shake his head because that would kill everyone.
We got to do the Star Trek thing where
I've got-
everybody needs to laugh.
I have this problem where I keep wanting to shake my head or nod my head when you're talking. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Don't do that. You'll kill everyone.
But he's like, absolutely not. No. But
No, but is the energy that is being radiated from the other island godlike energy?
yes and no. It's oh.
You know, that is a good enough answer for me personally. And I think me personally wants to sleep on this.
That sounds good. I just want to be clear. If you get there and like somehow, I don't expect you to be able to actually shut the reactor off. It would be great if you could. But I just want to find out what happened to my people.
And we're gonna find that out. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna find that out.
Okay.
It's just we have suddenly been given a lot of information in a very short amount of time that we don't know what to do with. So
That's perfectly reasonable. Yes.
So the other thing I would love to be starting to work on is I am very good at figuring out where or who I need to talk to find out more about things that we haven't that we don't have a lot of information about. So anything that we don't have a ton of knowledge about or this ancient lore or whatever is coming up. Riv is solid on where to go to find it. Here. Or wherever.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
I'm a researcher, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. I feel like we've got the person who knows about divine things, the person who knows about historical things, and the person who can put that together and do the research to figure out the other stuff, and then also we've got someone who can talk to people.
I'm just here for the ride. This is wonderful.
Wonderful is a word for it. That I will consider that later. Okay, let me. There is a lot here, and I think many of my companions and I have other questions that are not necessarily pertinent at this very, very moment when it comes to resting and recovering your folk. So let me just clarify a few things. The pirates have taken your people to this island, which is actually a reactor.
Yes, and I think they may have damaged it somehow because the radiation levels have increased considerably.
And we are potentially going to go there and hopefully find some of your people to rescue, and potentially find some of your people and what has happened to them. Is there any way for us to protect ourselves from angry god radiation?
Well, unfortunately, all of the flasks of radiation immunity are kept inside the reactor area, and
I
don't
pull out
believe-
a jug. I don't suppose it looks like this.
So they have been looting the reactor.
We found this on, this was in the stomach of a kraken
that
swallowed us.
It probably came from one of the two ships the pirates had. One of them never came back. We always wondered what happened to it.
It would be this one. It had the symbol on it.
Yeah, that would actually. Okay, that changes things considerably. With that, you would in fact be immune to the radiation for 24 hours if you can take a dosage of it.
Be
And
glad
given
you didn't
that-
drink it.
Given that, I would like to actually request that you try to shut the reactor off.
I'm going to ask a question that is not one that I can actually help with, but hopefully some of my more some of my companions can. Can we make more of it now that we have some of it?
I don't think so. I wouldn't think so personally, but
Well,
maybe things have changed outside this island.
and if they've been looting it, there's a chance that we could find more.
True, but I'm being hopeful and thinking long term that no matter what happens in the next day or so with the immediate concern, which is finding the frog people, that and Fairlos will kind of give Rivulet a look and just gauge your interest level in this and how excited you're looking, and then also like my own dread, and go, we are going to want to find out more about what is happening over there afterwards, and so being able to go there without a problem would be nice. How many
Agreed.
how many doses of this do we have in that flask?
It was-
Eyeball looks over at the flask.
It looked like 4 to 5 by my view.
Somewhere between 4 and 6. Yes, I think so.
Are there any other effects that we should be concerned about? Is there like side
Should make
effects?
you immune to all poisons as well for the 24-hour period.
Nobody
Oh.
has any allergies, right?
No, but I could have so much fun with that.
So looking at the potion, now that we know what it is that something that Riv, with my poisoner's knowledge and poison kit, would be able to possibly replicate?
I'm not gonna say no, but the DC for something like that would be extremely high, I think.
Okay.
Unless you manage to come across some of... let's see if I can phrase this without giving away information. Unless you come across some of the original creators' notes.
That's what I was gonna say. And because I can find information about things, can I figure out where I would need to look to find that information?
When you have
Essentially.
access to a library,
It would be a library sort
when
of
we
thing.
when
Okay.
you have access to the school's library again, which you don't currently have. When you do, we can let's put a pin in that for
Okay.
now. You certainly can't do it with the knowledge or materials you have available to you right now.
I'm gonna have to start a research list, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think, and Fearless to say this out loud, I think if possible, we try to save at least one, either find more of this while we're over there or save one dose so that Rivula can get a chance to work your magic, and then we can go from there. Because, yeah, we're going to want to come back and find out more. Absolutely. I think some of my professors are going to want to. I think the entire school is going to want to come back. The bigger frog, we're going to probably need you to lay some ground rules for any other guests that are coming on by, because if we are successful in this, you are about to get a lot of people who are going to want to talk to you.
Do you want these people to know what's going on?
I think at this particular point in time, Frog and a Wizard Hat's been quiet, but Reginald is going to speak up and say, you know, I don't expect forgiveness for past actions, but perhaps I can assist and act as a bit of an intermediary and answer questions at this other location where these people might be coming from. I could go with you back. Save them a trip.
I think this sounds good.
Not that. And then the bigger frog goes, not that we don't want visitors, but too many visitors would probably be a bad thing overall.
Very itchy.
I think it is better if they can. Maybe we keep this quiet for now, and only tell those who absolutely need to know, and allow the people here to come to terms with everything before we bring in an armada.
Can we get a bit more information about the people we're looking for? How many descriptions, names?
The frog people, not the pirate people. I'm pretty sure we've seen the pirate people.
What we've seen,
Right.
yes.
8.
Just so we make sure we're bringing back the correct people and such.
8 total. 6 of which were frogs of various sizes. 1 is a purple frog, an azure frog, and 3 browns, a red, and then 2
Wait,
bullywugs.
slow down. I'm trying to get this all done. Sorry, you said purple, azure, 3 browns.
Yes, a red,
One red.
and then 2 bullywugs. They're kind of hard to miss.
Okay.
Right, that's 8.
I have
And-
about 3 billion other questions, but none that are going to relate to what we need to do immediately. Is there anything else?
I have one other, which is how do you shut down the reactor?
Oh, I guess
Ah.
that is a good question. I thought we were letting the gods out of the box, but I guess we're not letting the gods out of the box.
I don't think the
know that
gods are
letting
in the
two
box.
pissed off gods who've been fighting
They are
for
in the
however
box.
long.
Unless
Oh,
they,
the gods
unless...
are in the box.
Okay, so the gods are in sort of this triangle, a pyramid sort of geometric shape. As long as their box isn't damaged, it should be fine. You just need to interface with it, and then so this particular box has the gods of peak and patience.
EIQUE peak.
Yes. An anger god and a patience god. All you need to do is convince the anger god to calm down. or I guess you could convince the patience god to get angry, but that would probably blow the reactor up. It would shut it down and stop it from emitting more radiation, but there would, of course, be contamination everywhere.
That's disappointing because, to be very honest, of the two, I was kind of thinking it'd be easier to make one angry than to calm one down, especially after they've been in a box for hundreds of years. But that's okay. That's.
I mean, there
I
could
have
be other.
not gone to church enough to be able to do any of this.
I apologize. I know it may be difficult, and if you find it too difficult, just you should probably just leave, and I'll figure it out myself. Or if you guys can figure out some other solution that I'm not thinking of, that's the standard shutdown procedure.
I've
though, is
always
to
wanted
just...
to get to have a chat with a god. Why not?
The last question, then, I suppose, maybe not the last question. There's always more questions, but specifically with this, if we're releasing gods back into the world, what sort of consequences are we looking at releasing gods back into the world who haven't been out in the world in many years?
Please don't do that. It would probably result. I mean, the madness of being imprisoned for thousands of years would not be good. Their power would still be only mediocre in a god sense, but a god of mediocre power is still capable of quite a bit of destruction.
So you think keeping them imprisoned against their will in captivity is a better choice?
I've had a lot of time to reflect on the wisdom of my old bosses at corporates' ideas. And while I very strongly disagree with both their methods and the end result, I feel as though I'm stuck with it now.
That's why you are protecting it.
So
Yes.
because things have been done this way in the past, you should do them this way moving forward.
I'm aware of how bad that sounds, and the flaws in my logic, of course.
I'm listening to all sides of an argument before I make a decision here. I'm
Absolutely.
curious what your thought process is here.
But the alternative is, of course, to release angry gods into the wild and hope they don't kill anyone.
Only
And
one
they-
of them is angry, the other is quite patient, it would seem.
I don't know, if I was locked in a box for however long with someone who is deeply pissed off and annoying, I might slip.
Well,
I'm not 100% sure I can answer your question to any level of satisfaction, to be honest with you. I think...
There's also many people who are going to be much more highly trained in being able to gently encourage both of these gods to be able to come out and not be destructive and destroy everything. So maybe this is also something that we wrestle with later when we've got more backup.
Yeah,
How do the seven gods feel about this?
And
Hey,
Phyllis can't help it in her head. Well, how do you think about that?
hey Riv. Hey Riv. I think your questions are really good questions and really valid questions, but I also think that the overarching implications of the answers of these questions are maybe too big for us. So I love your questions because your questions are really good and they make me think about things that I've never thought about before. But I think that there's a clear path for us to take, which is just getting them to stop. Because I don't want to think about being responsible for setting loose two really, really, really frustrated gods into the world and dealing with those ramifications. So I'm cool to just have them to convince them to calm down for now. And then we think about the rest of the answers to your questions later.
Perhaps once they calm down a bit, we could ask them their input on the questions.
I'm going to start searching for the location that these pirates have invaded.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
I will probably need to rest afterwards. My daughter could give you the instructions in the morning.
Sim's never gonna give us a moral question again.
No, I love that. That's great.
I'm so
So,
happy.
because she couldn't help it, yeah, in that moment
Oh,
when
right,
Riv
yeah.
asked, I don't know if Fearless expects an answer. I don't know, like, because she doesn't pray to the god in the heart kinda at all. But after recent events, I think in that moment she's
There
just
doesn't need
silent.
to be a check for this.
That's
The answer
fine.
is clear. And I'm going to give it to you in my standard sarcastic manner.
Yeah, well, that's
What do you think the god of freedom, absolute freedom, thinks about other gods being trapped in a box for 1,000 years?
I think this moment is gonna elucidate whether the god in the heart has any ideas about context.
Mm,
Because there's wanting freedom at all costs,
right.
and there's
And being like,
wanting...
what is the value of life as well in exchange for freedom? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's
I
like-
think she
it's
is just
It's like
she's-
going to a zoo and letting a tiger out and being like, freedom! Freedom's important. What about
Yeah.
the kids over there? Well,
Exactly.
they have freedom not to be here.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's part of her just it's not a I'm asking you because I'm going to do your what you say or what you think. I'm just genuinely I'm very flummoxed about everything that is going on, and Rivulet has asked a decent question, and I thought, well, if there's going to be anyone who's going to have thoughts on this, it's going to be you.
The voice that you hear in your head just says, let him out.
You're that sure that the consequences are not going to be disastrous for you and or the rest of the world?
If the consequences are disastrous for me, then I'll deal with it. And if it's going to be disastrous for the rest of the world, I'll deal with that too.
And by you'll deal with that, you mean I'll deal with that, or we'll deal with that, right?
That's what I said, yes.
And that's not what you said, that's what you meant. Okay, fine. This is why I don't pray to you. And then out loud, Carlos is gonna go, yeah, we should we should rest, and we should focus on getting back these 8 people we're gonna save, and then we should get ourselves some backup before we decide to do anything with a divine twin reactor.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Hey,
what I think.
Carlos,
Yes.
I just realized something. You're a divine twin.
I mean, yes, but not in that way. No.
That you know of.
Well,
no, I'm gonna just put my foot down right here and say my brother is a lot of things, and divine is not one of them. I love him dearly, but that is not. He's
maybe.
coming here. That is gonna be a problem.
You know, sometimes when you are very close to something, you cannot see it for all that it is.
My brother is not a god. He is a paladin who is probably gonna come here and mess things up.
But he is a,
Lauren knows that you're having fun with Fairlos.
Yeah.
Fairlos is very frazzled right now, but
Yeah.
Lauren is enjoying this, just to be very clear.
well,
She has never had a crisis of any kind of divine intervention at all, and this is very new.
I'm pretty thirsty. Let's go get something to drink.
we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
I
be
think-
nice to not be standing directly on your face.
I don't know if we have an option there. I think we are standing where we are standing.
Well, we
and
can
I'm
get
gonna-
up on the wood structure so that we are not foot on face.
I'll be here tomorrow morning if you need anything. I'll be sure to have the instructions available. It was great to meet you.
It was
Thank you
lovely
for-
to meet you. I cannot
thank you.
wait to see your look tomorrow.
Thank you so much for helping us. I appreciate it so much.
Well,
Okay.
to the bar.
Lead on, Frog in a Wizard Hat. We will follow.
I'm gonna take you guys to the grog in your throat.
Yes. Oh, I love this man.
Yes to all of that, in and out
Yes.
of character. Yes.
I love this
Oh,
man.
this
guys-
is
so much.
beautiful.
So you guys enter a underground, like half underground
Wait,
entrance. What?
how is it underground?
No, yeah. You guys enter into what's like a half underground entrance that goes underneath a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And in the entrance where the water would run in it runs down, around, and then down into holes that you can look down into that go. It's hard to see where they go to. It looks like the water doesn't even hit anything. And
we've walked
I
on
know.
dirt and sand, right?
yeah, there's
But
dirt
these-
and sand above frog and or I'm sorry, bigger frog's skin, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah,
For-
yeah.
Yeah. And there's also trees growing on his back. They've got to be growing in something.
I'm really curious
Yeah, I was
now
thinking
about
about
Chicken
the
Mountain.
buildings and going. Those are deeply unstable. There's no way to have a solid foundation on any building here whatsoever.
I mean, I guess you
Bigger
could-
Frog shivers and the entire thing comes tumbling down.
You know,
Like,
He's
It
very
is
careful about the way he
actually-
moves.
It is actually possible to build structures that would have shock support enough to handle like a tremor or something like
It's-
that.
but what would
This
you
is
anchor them to?
I'm going to say this to the audience here. This is D&D, folks. We've gone
Yes.
from philosophy to architecture.
Well, that's
but
the
we've
thing.
got someone who is an expert in this, and this is a rabbit hole, and I don't know if we
It's
want to
true.
go down.
Yeah.
if it's
So,
funny.
so for those watching who don't know, Goblin does this for a living.
I'm in construction.
Um,
I'm gonna do a stream later this week on here to go over how this would be possible.
That's gonna be so fun.
great.
also,
so cool.
also, I'll just say, magic. There you go.
Also, for the sake of anyone who can't actually see the map, this is into the roots of a very, very large tree. You go down a little bit, the water drains off to the sides, and inside is what can really only be described as
A big, pretty moth.
a very large moth drinking from a giant flask behind a bar, and there are flowers everywhere, trees growing up from the floor. All of the tables, all of the seats are some form of plant matter, and there are just frogs and bullywugs everywhere, sitting, eating, and drinking.
Jen, it's like if the Lost Boys dinner from Hook took place in a fern gully tree.
Wait,
That's pretty darn accurate.
Amazing.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the moth is a real moth. This is
Mhm.
not a statue of a moth. Okay.
Nope,
It-
it's drinking too.
And is it one of those ridiculous fuzzy moths that don't look
It
like
is
they
a
can
Luna
fly?
moth.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
Luna moth. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if anybody ever wants to have fun, go to YouTube and go look up fuzzy moths flying in slow motion, and there's a video that is just really big, chunky moths taking off in slow motion, and it is serotonin for your soul. There, done. Yeah. Verlos is gonna turn to Frog in a Hat and say, well, do you have any suggestions for food and or drink, as we are new and you are a local?
I think the best thing to do would be to go to the bar, ask the bartender what the specials are.
Dominique is already walking up to the bar. Like as soon as we walked in, she just kept walking.
Yeah, and the bartender is the moth itself, who just
Who looks
as
like
you
a Technicolor dream, Jen.
Yes.
Like,
it's like a rainbow
I'm checking
sherbet
I'm
nightmare.
cross-checking
Okay.
I love it.
on Twitch for this. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, anybody who happens
Just
to be listening
audience
to the
who's
podcast.
wondering, I was having some tech issues with getting my camera working with other things, so I don't have mapped today.
If Lisa Frank threw up on a Luna moth,
not even. This is just a Lisa Frank
it is a
moth.
Lisa Frank Luna moth.
It's a Lisa Frank moth. Yeah.
It's
I'll also say this is a very
Vibrant
good thing
watercolors.
for all of us to get into, is describing what we're seeing, because
Yeah.
we've got people who are just going to be listening to this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
It's
listeners.
true.
This is one of those maps that's like amazing looking, but also it's got so much going on that you could probably spend the next half an hour describing everything in the scene.
Yeah.
Very
It
true.
looks to me it's like this belongs in Vegas. This is like a theme restaurant
Yes.
in Vegas.
Yes.
like that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. Is like I could walk into this at some hotel in Vegas that decided to do like a fairyland or natural
Yeah.
Yeah.
themed
It's
in
really
vibrant colors.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the dinosaur restaurants that people do.
That's
oh,
fair.
yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it with Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That aesthetic,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but Technicolor.
For Technicolor and with the giant moth.
Yeah. Speaking of giant moth, one last question to a wizard in a hat. What is the moth's name? Is it just moth, or does the moth have a name?
No, that's Julie.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, that's Julie.
Thank you.
Bonjour.
You had a lot of voices to keep up there, Sim.
Yeah, it's getting there. Well, howdy.
This is a remarkable establishment.
Well, thank you. I grew it myself.
That's very nice. How long did it
Oh.
take to grow?
Approximately, I want to say, like 30 years.
This is magnificent.
Wow.
You've done very well. I'm so sorry. My name is Jacqueline. Or I'm sorry, Dominique. Sorry, wrong French name. That was all Katie.
Dominique, well, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Julie.
Julie, lovely to make your acquaintance. I find myself in great thirst, and I have absolutely no idea what to drink. What would you recommend?
I think you should maybe try the shimmering vodka.
Oh, I like the sound of this. I will follow your advice. Can I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Sure.
Essicle
And-
looks behind us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Four of us. This wizard in a hat. Oh, there's Reginald.
Yeah.
Who's the seventh?
Dominique.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, and the moth reaches forward with one of its mandibles, and a little glass comes out from underneath the bar, puts it over one of the. You can see that the taps have flowers on top of them,
Mm-hmm.
and presses down, and then puts it down onto the counter. It's not actually vodka, by the way. That's just
Oh.
what we call it. It is a clear liquid with like. It almost looks like water with an oil sheen on top of
That's
it.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I was going to also ask. I'm going to get some food no matter what, but considering this is not actually vodka, I don't have to worry about eating before I drink this. Is there a special that you would recommend?
Absolutely. One moment. And, the mandibles come forward underneath the table there. How many do you need?
I'll have one as well.
I'll also have food.
Looks over at the one person who hasn't responded yet. You want one of the specials?
Sure.
Pulls out 4 plates of food, sits them down on the counter. Each one of them is has a steak, potatoes, and some sort of cheesy looking side that is not immediately identifiable, that are all 4 steaming hot as though they were just cooked. There you go. And I'm to understand that your bill's all paid for.
Oh,
Well, that's very kind.
merci. Julie, what brought you here?
Who, me?
Yes.
Seemed like a good place to start a business.
You're
A
not
simple
wrong.
answer with a good heart. I like it.
I'm gonna look around for a table that has enough chairs for everybody.
There's plenty. There's plenty of tables available that if you want to, and even if there weren't, some of the frog in a wizard hat is actually clearing one off of a couple of people right now.
Perfect. I'll grab a few napkins to grab the plates because they're steaming and be like, I think a good meal and a drink, even if it is not of the alcoholic variety, is a good idea right now. Thank you, Frog in a wizard hat, and I'll just help bring everything on over.
That's fair. Let's set you guys down at this table right here. It's got enough seats for everybody.
Yay!
So, and then once like everybody is sat and had a chance to eat a little bit and drink a little bit and settle.
So,
So, what are we thinking about this rescue mission we're gonna be doing tomorrow?
Well, I feel a lot better about it knowing that Dominique didn't drink the thing that was going to keep us safe.
we would have had an extra dose. It's fine.
But then you would have
would have
drank the
been
dose that Rivulet
very
would be
wasteful.
using.
No, I do not dispute it. Would have been a terrible waste, but
It's good to know that those last 24 hours, that means we can take it before we leave and hopefully be fine for the whole time. I don't know if I know if these... Part of me doesn't want to tell anybody about this place, and part of me thinks that everybody should know, and I'm very confused.
I think we should wait and find out what we see tomorrow before we make that decision. Honestly, my concern is if we call people in, everyone in this village is going to have their life turned completely upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And they may not have a home left. I don't want to see that happen.
I mean, I think also we can, if it's necessary to tell, I agree, I don't want to tell, but if it's necessary, we can just omit the part about Chicken Island and only talk about the island that is having the problems.
Which, to be clear...
If they come here, they will find it. And if they find it, they will come en masse.
And also, like this island, that's not really an island, is it? It is some kind of weird ship.
It's a giant chicken.
No, I mean...
It's not confirmed.
It's Frog Island, Chicken Island.
No, we're on Mount Chicken Island. Mount Chicken Island just happens to be a big frog.
A frog.
Oh, I thought the
Yes.
other island was Mount Chicken Island.
No,
Oh.
the other island, I do not know if we've gotten a name for that yet, but I don't think it's an island. If we know that that has a reactor in it, it's
So Mount Chicken
probably-
Island is a frog. Tastes like
You
chicken.
know,
Is
honestly,
anyone else? No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, my only thought before you said that was I wonder if Mount Chicken Island, like Big Frog and Bigger Frog, was named something else that just kind of evolved into Mount Chicken Island.
It sure.
But what were you gonna say, Riv?
I was gonna bring it to a slightly more philosophical standpoint. Shocker. But is anyone else grappling with the fact that we're encountering two gods when there haven't been more gods in?
I mean,
Yes, to put it bluntly, yes, for a variety of reasons, some
I
very
mean,
obvious.
we're increasing the pantheon by a third if we're finding two.
are we letting them
That's,
out?
Whether or not we let them out, they exist.
We know, yes, that is.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
And all I mean, I'm not the theologist here, but really all one god needs to become more real is someone to know it.
So, I do not think we should let them out immediately, because I think it would only be fair to warn people. I think the best case scenario for this still involves letting one god out who's a god of not
Peak.
patience.
Peak and patience.
But if they both are out, would they not keep each other in balance?
Maybe, but
Look,
I don't know if I feel qualified to make this decision.
Exactly.
It's
And I'm not saying that we
It seems to
hide
me
it.
that we're righting a wrong. Possibly, this was something that was.
I 100% agree with that. That this is a wrong, that it has happened,
And
it is.
if destruction happens, it's destruction that was.
It brought at the hands of the Kasari Empire. Don't think that's going to bring comfort to anyone.
It's destruction that forms the foundation for new growth. For things to be set right.
Sure,
There's-
but what is that? What comfort is that going to be to the person whose home was just destroyed?
This is also not an all or nothing kind of thing. There's no reason why we can wait on releasing them until we have marshaled our forces and people who are better equipped to deal with these matches, and we don't necessarily need these gods to come out and be destructive. They were out at one point and not destroying everything, so there's no reason why they can't be again. I just feel like doing it immediately would cause more problems than we could potentially avoid. We could right this wrong in a way that doesn't wrong other people.
I'll put it this way: if we release them, and they cause catastrophic harm, they're the ones who are going to be very difficult to catch and punish. Whatever they do, if we release them, whatever they do is partly on us.
I also want to say that we are speaking in a lot of hypotheticals. We have justification for these hypotheticals, but we are still speaking in hypotheticals, and we really don't know what's going to happen.
That is a
This
very
is
good
true.
point.
We focus tomorrow on just trying to find these 8 frogs who have been taken, and then go from there. But by tomorrow, I should be able to, at the very least, contact my brother if he's not already on his way. And then we can get a note to the school, and we can have more people here who could help with the pirate problem and the god problem all at the same time.
What if they
Yes.
are... Wait. What if they are one and the same?
Well,
What if the pirates knew about the gods in the box, and that is what they were going after? What if the pirates were going to try to seize that power source?
yes. That
Yes.
was, I 100% think that is what is going on,
Right.
and it's, yes.
Sorry, I've been drinking and I was only half paying attention.
That's fine. That's
Yes,
okay. I've been rambling a lot more ever since I've been trying to grapple with all of this.
So, gods in a box will have you do that.
It also indicates that maybe, as much as Bigger Frog was hoping that we could find some more of the flask stuff that's going to keep us immune, if the pirates are conscripting others to do the work, then my guess is they either no longer have the stuff to keep them safe, or have used it all up, or have not found any. So we should keep that in mind.
Well, there's also nothing. I don't.
They wouldn't-
You're right, but I think what they're still using our frog friends to do this, but I think just because they don't want to do it, there's nothing saying that the frogs who live here are immune or less affected by this power.
Agreed.
Frog in the Wizard Hat, do you know anything about this?
Well, I don't know anything about any of this. I stay on my side.
Reginald, what about you?
Well, a little, yes. One of
Also-
my,
Is Reginald speaking to all of us now, or is it just Katie?
all of you, actually.
Okay.
You can all
Oh.
understand it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually waiting for one of you to ask, and that was going to be the moment that you guys all understood him.
I was
Um,
assuming there was translations going on. To
That's
make
perfectly
life
fine.
easy.
Yeah.
No, I
Uh,
figured when Reginald was offered it to come with us, that was a moment where we could all understand him.
Nice.
But we were very focused on the conversation. at the end.
Exactly. There was a mystical influx of energy on him that you guys probably didn't get a chance to see because it was very tiny. But yes, you four specifically can understand him currently, and he is saying to, I believe, who was it to ask specifically again? The
One
question?
of us.
Yeah, well, it was definitely one of you, but
Latia, I think.
It might have been me. Yeah.
But in general,
Yes.
what do
Yes.
you know about all this? Yeah.
I may or may not have spent a little bit of my time on this island originally trying to steal artifacts from the power plant,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got caught,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
and then they turned me into a frog.
Like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the they?
Big
Big
frog,
frog and bigger frog.
Okay.
That's why. I mean, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but Meg was pretty cold to our friend Reginald here.
I
Uh,
I
and
thought there was a
specifically
little
said that-
scandal involved.
I've
Also-
had a lot of shimmering vodka, and whether or not it's alcoholic, it's very shimmery, which is good.
It is.
Also, I was eventually going to try to find out why everybody here are frogs. Not that I have anything wrong with being a frog, but I would like to know if that is.
What
Not
if
that I have anything
something-
against frogs.
It's a
but-
frog community.
What if the
It's-
So there's-
radiation turns you into a frog?
That would be good to know.
Reginald, how? I mean, I don't know.
Yes. What was the?
Reginald.
Are all the
nothing.
frogs here turned into frogs by Bigger Frog? Is that where they all come
Oh.
from?
No. I believe that most of the people here descend from either Big Frog or Bigger Frog. There were visitors to the island over time, survivors of some great calamity in the past that I'm not exactly well familiar with. Probably the creeping cold if I had money to bet. But at some point, a community formed and grew and grew and grew, and of course, Bigger Frog grew and grew and grew. And yes, well, it's a lot harder for him to fulfill. At least that's what I thought. It would be much harder for him to fulfill his oath of protection on the power plant as an immobile giant piece of land. But I was proven incorrect.
All right. Well.
So, point is, do not make Bigger Frog upset.
I wouldn't. Although, it seems as though those barbarous frognappers, barbigerous frognappers have certainly made him angry, and he hasn't done anything about it, so...
Our
I suppose he is a bit hindered in his ability to immediately react because of all the people living on him. It would make it difficult.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think the fact that you've showed up and are taking the task out of his hands is probably helpful.
Certainly.
Is there a ship or a dinghy or something we're going to be able to take to get over to the other island tomorrow?
We'll probably have to cross the marsh and take a canoe. That's usually how we get over to the other island if we need to get there. We don't have proper ships of our own.
Okay.
I can canoe.
The canoeing
Good,
is
because
fine.
Good,
you
because
canoe?
I cannot.
I'll
you
be
canoe?
fine.
We do canoe.
I cannot canoe.
I was slightly concerned there would be swimming involved, and that's a different matter altogether. Okay.
I'll handle the swimming. You stay in the
Thank you.
boat.
I don't mind swimming, but it definitely takes a while to dry everything off.
It looks so unpleasant to be covered in fur when it's wet. It
And
just
armor. And armor.
yes. It does
It's-
not look comfortable.
Actually, being wet is not a problem. It's not that it's uncomfortable. It just takes a very long time to dry. That is the problem.
I just noticed my hair gets so much heavier when it's wet, and it seems.
I think you all are glorious people.
Oh. He just kind of pats him on the back of the head.
This might not have any alcohol in it, but apparently it has that kind of effect on a frog.
Perhaps
I'm just
it
gonna
is
straighten
frog.
his wizard hat.
Perhaps it is alcoholic to frogs.
Very true.
Ooh, maybe
Jimmy.
it is.
It's actually alcoholic to everybody. It's just not. It's not vodka. It's an alcoholic beverage still.
Oh,
Okay.
That's fine.
Also
I'm very
fine,
glad
yes.
I got some food then.
Mm.
Actually,
Go
can
ahead.
I examine his wizard hat?
You absolutely can examine his wizard
I
hat.
want to examine his wizard hat.
All right. Make an investigation check.
Understand
Maybe-
you are doing this on behalf of all of us.
Also,
It's
give me kind
definite-
of like what
Yeah.
are you looking for?
I'm not look. You know what? It's definitely the shimmering vodka that's making Essequa a little bit bold. She's not looking for anything in particular. She really just wants to take a look at this wizard hat.
Oh, fair enough.
She wants to see if there's anything in it, but like there's no real rhyme or reason for it.
Yeah.
You
She
see a
just
frog in a wizard hat.
You gotta stop
You
and
might
look.
just want to check out that wizard hat.
Absolutely.
See
Go ahead and roll
how
your
it-
investigation.
How
Yeah.
it frogs.
Yeah.
How it hats.
how it hats.
How
That's
it hats,
just
how it frogs.
How does
how
that
it
frog
wizard
just
hat?
denied.
That is a frog in a wizard hat.
Can I assist her so she can roll with advantage?
Are you reaching over the table and being like, hold on, I want to see too?
Well, we're
Yeah,
both on the
no,
same
I,
side
like,
of the table.
I see her
so-
kind of start looking, and
Okay, yeah. Advantage, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Tommy's just like, hey,
Okay.
hey,
Can I throw a guidance on there? Can I help
Yes,
as well?
you can.
I mean, I've never seen one either.
Okay, so advantage. That's already a 19.
It's a minimum of a 20. You've
Yeah,
already reached the minimum
D4.
of a 20.
D4 makes it 21.
Yeah. This is a magic item of some kind. Investigation isn't going to identify it for you, but you are aware this is a fairly powerful magic item, actually.
Frog in a wizard hat's packing.
he's
Am
packing
I
magic.
remembering it? Yeah, I was about to say, am I remembering this? Am I misremembering this? But is the frog in a wizard hat a wizard because he's got a wizard hat? Is the magic coming from the hat?
No, he had a spell book. I saw he has a spell book.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's a wizard in a frog suit.
I mean, he's a frog wizard in a wizard hat.
Frog wizard in a wizard hat. Yep.
I mean, he's a frog who is a wizard and he's wearing a wizard hat. And the wizard hat has some power to it. And
Okay.
I'm going to ask him about it when he's more awake because that would be impolite of me. I've already been too bold today.
Not only
Can
would
you
it be
tell what
impolite,
kind of magic it has?
not
Say it
only
again?
would it be impolite, but it wouldn't work if you asked him now. He's not responding to anything.
I mean, that's very true.
Rivulet, you asked a question real quick?
Yeah, I asked Essequa if she can tell what kind of magic it has about it.
And I assume that would be some sort of roll. I don't know if I could tell with just the
Yeah,
investigation.
I mean, mechanically, like, detect magic would give it
Yeah.
to you. Is
Yeah,
what
you
I
don't
was
have-
thinking.
Am I out of spell slots? I'm not out of spell slots. Yeah, you know what? I'll pop one of those real quick. I'll just cast it. Detect
You want to do
magic.
that?
break.
Hold on. I'm gonna offer you a take back on that. You sure you want
Okay.
to do that and not just identify?
I could do that too. I have that. I will identify.
I mean, we're
it.
not going anywhere. You could do
We're
identify as
not.
a ritual.
I know, but you know what? Essequa's already she's already picked up the wizard hat and looked at the wizard hat, and so she was gonna be okay, just detecting magic on the wizard hat. But you all are terrible enablers, so she will
Curiosity
identify.
killed the
it.
hat.
Yeah, curiosity.
Hey,
I
wait a
love
second.
that.
I did not.
Just the hat, not the cat.
If you didn't already have inspiration, you'd
said
get
that.
another one for that.
Why, thank you.
I apologize. You already have it. I can't give you another one.
I'd be upset, except I also want to know what that hat is all about, so I will take it.
This is a wizard's hat of warding. The wearer automatically has mage armor cast on them at all times, and it stores up to 8 spell levels of spells. That is to say, and the maximum you can cast with it is a level 4 spell. So basically, as a wizard, if you have this on, you obviously have mage armor automatically. And then, if you want to cast a level 4 spell, you can choose to use 4 points from this hat. And it would just then have 4 points left, and they refresh at the end of the day.
So, Essequel, what'd you find?
This wizard hat's amazing.
What's it do?
So, I mean, so it keeps our wonderful frog friend here well protected, and she like pats him, like she's like patting him on the back as she like straightens the wizard hat as she puts it back down after identifying it. But also, it can store a decent amount of spells, or at least a decent amount of like spell levels. We all have like ranges of spells that we can cast.
Sure.
Just for. Hang on 1 second. I gotta look at my character sheet. Yeah, I'm decent enough. Just looking around, making sure we're not being super overheard by anyone about this. Like, I don't want Frog in a Wizard Hat to wake up tomorrow and just be Frog, because
Somebody
we
robbed him?
talked
Yeah.
about Frog in a Wizard Hat's hat too loudly at the bar.
I am stage whispering at this point, so like
Okay.
it's
Just
loud
making
enough
sure.
for you all to hear, but I'm trying to be quiet about
I'm
it because
gonna
I care
just,
very much.
I just wanted to check.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
I think that's a good
on-
thing to check. I do think at this point, though, like, it sounds like Frog and Wizard Hat is a frog who is a wizard who just has an awesome hat, and so I don't think we have to worry about Frog and a Wizard Hat not being a wizard frog anymore.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about Frog in a Wizard Hat being
Getting
Frog
mugged.
in a Wizard Hat minus the Wizard Hat, therefore Frog.
Yeah.
Oh, you think the wizard
Just
hat
a
is
wizard
also
frog. Steal it.
Well, but also conferring wizard on the frog?
No.
No, I just am
Okay,
worried somebody's gonna hear we're talking about this awesome magic item and come and steal it while
Steal-
Frog in a Wizard
okay.
Hat's passed
Is
out.
there anybody in the room listening to us?
That's
I'd
what I
I mean,
say
Reginald
that
is right there.
Yeah, Reginald's right next to you.
Right.
There are bullywugs at the next table where you can see a token already marked down. That table is basically full of other bullywugs, so they're not far away from you.
Mm-hmm.
They have certainly seen you examining the wizard hat.
Yeah.
Whether they have overheard you, I think they're the closest ones. I think an insight check would make good sense. You can insight them specifically.
All right.
There.
I'm gonna do that. Soon as
I'm going to join
remember.
in this insight because depending on what I see, I might react in a specific way. And that is another natural 20. Oh my god.
Yes.
For
Yes.
25. I'm scared.
I don't even
That's
know
two
if my
natural
roll went
20s in a
through.
row, I think. Oh.
Speaking of scared, the bullywugs are terrified of you.
Okay, good.
Oh god, I crit too. Did we both
Yeah.
just crit?
You did, yep. The bullywugs are terrified of you and probably so it's good that you rolled as high as you did, because they are indeed trying to look not suspicious, but it's not because they're listening in on your conversation and getting involved. They are terrified of what you guys are doing currently with the wizard hat in the first place, and also just of you in general.
Oh.
I'm going to get up and go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Julie.
Julie, yes.
Julie, I hate to be a bother. I couldn't help but notice that some of the fellow patrons might be a little uncomfortable around us, and I wanted to try to make them feel a little better by sending a round to their table. Would that be possible?
Absolutely, you can. You want it to be the same drink?
Whatever they are drinking that they seem to
Fair enough.
enjoy, give them a
All
round
right.
of that.
I think they were having sap mead, so I'll go ahead and make some.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
Fairlos is gonna start to like very slowly pack up because we're gonna go find ourselves somewhere to go to bed real soon.
The party's just starting.
This tavern actually has places for you to sleep.
Perfect.
And Frog and Wizard Hat was supposed to take you to your rooms.
Well, I'm thinking of doing the opposite actually.
Of
but I-
taking
I
Frog
wanna-
and a Wizard Hat to our room.
to a room, yeah. But also, just when you said that they're worried, so they're scared of us, but also
Yeah.
they're worried about what we're doing with Frog and a Wizard Hat. We already know that Frog and a Wizard Hat has there's some drama. Is it they're scared of Frog and a Wizard Hat too?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, yeah. Then Fairlos is gonna like finish food, finish packing everything up, because she doesn't mind that they're scared of her. And then, in order to make sure that Frog and a Wizard Hat stays Frog and a Wizard Hat, she's going to very gently pick up Frog and a Wizard Hat, who is still in their wizard hat sleeping, and say, shall we get ourselves some rooms, and then if you want to come on back down and continue to enjoy yourself, that's fine. But I think I'm gonna put this one to bed, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
I may stay
Wow.
up and smooth things out with the locals for a bit, but I think there is some wisdom in getting rest tonight.
I'm gonna go to bed too.
I agree.
I think it's a good time for us to take a break.
Yeah.
You guys go to your rooms for the night, and we will take our break, and we will be back at, you know what? Perfect timing, right at the hour.
Ooh,
All right.
Yay! See y'all in a few.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wall and end. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Ahoy hoy. Welcome back. I forgot to do this at the top of the episode, so I'm going to do it now as well. And I always do it at the end no matter what. But it'll be going through the chat periodically, but our cartography by Cheyenne Peku, cartography also by Cheyenne Peku Sci-Fi, maps by Luke Stratton of Limithron, maps by Eightfold Paper, music by Tabletop Audio, and all of our character tokens are by Greek46. You can find links to all of their stuff in the chat periodically, and if this is up on YouTube and you're watching it there later on, the links will be in the description. So our party has taken a rest after a fairly rough day, and they've got their long rests out of the way. They're about to leave. Right before you wake up, Furlos, however, you are buzzed awake by your sending stone. And your brother Fro is significantly more economical with his words in this message than is normal.
He's finally learned. Okay.
School is worried. Grimtooth dead? Me and Charles just stole a ship. He says to say hello. He seems good. Said, I'm saving my friends.
Bro's gonna take, or Fairless is gonna take a moment before she answers. Because this time I'm not being woken up in the literal belly of the beast. And she's a little more expecting to be able to talk to her brother. And so the moment in where that message comes through and he says stole and claws dig into the side of the bed. We're going to talk about you stealing later. don't know about our teacher, you should turn around and wait at school. And that's,
What do you think the chances are of Fro actually doing that?
0%. There's no. And for those at home that don't know this, I played Fro in a recent campaign, so this isn't me just even thinking about it. Having played him, no, he's not. Especially since now he knows that the message is done and that Fairlos has no way of contacting him again to stop him. I think Fairlos also knows that there is a decent chance that he will not listen to her and turn around, but she had to try.
Absolutely. All right. Let's move you to back.
I'm gonna have to tell the others.
In the morning, when we all get together for breakfast, I will distribute good berries.
Thank you.
Yum.
2 each.
Thank you. So, I'm trying to remember. The message that Fro sent included the name,
Charles.
Charles? Do I know a Charles?
Yeah, Charles Moriarty, the halfling wizard.
Oh,
Our
that
baby boy!
Charles.
Sorry.
I knew that.
I wanted to make sure I got that name because Lauren kind of knew. I'm like, I think that's who it is. So, my brother is gonna be arriving soon. He and Charles stole a boat.
Oh, I
Yeah, that
cannot
was-
wait
that
to
was-
meet him.
Yeah, that was my expression too. I agree with that. I've told him to turn around and to wait at the school. I do not have very high hopes that is what's going to happen. So we
Wait.
should probably.
Charles stole the belt with him.
You know,
I'm so
I'm-
proud.
I'm impressed.
Don't be impressed until we know for sure that Charles doesn't think that my brother bought or borrowed the boat. I would not put it past my brother to commandeer a vehicle and then let others assume it was taken legally.
I am so excited about this development.
I am not really at all. I am worried that he's going to show up. The two of them are going to stumble into something that is already very confusing. But we should probably at least warn Big Frog that if Fro and Charles show up, that
We have
they
friends
are
on the
not.
way.
That we have friends, yes. That these are not more pirates.
Did they say? Well, did he say anything else?
The school is worried. So at the very least, he told the school. So
That's nice.
he listened to some of my instructions. He was asking if Grimtooth was dead, and I said I did not know.
Oh, I guess that means we know he hasn't somehow made it back to school. That doesn't make me feel better. But
Maybe, but we also have not found
Abelina.
Abelina. Thank you. So,
But did he ask about Abelina?
he did not, but I did not say anything in my initial response, and I will give my brother credit when it's due, because it is what it is. He used his words economically.
I look forward to meeting him.
Carlos,
One
as
more-
you start to... Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say one more thing before. I'm so sorry. No, but since we've mentioned it, and did we see Abelina in the tavern at all last night?
I'm assuming not.
Not...
Or at least not as a person or an owl.
Not as a person or an owl. That is an accurate thing to say. Not as a person or an owl.
Okay, now I am done with my questions for the morning.
Furlos, as you're walking out, something suddenly strikes you with regards to your messaging between you and your brother.
Oh, mentally. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, yeah, something strikes you. You didn't actually tell him where you were.
no, I did not.
You told
But-
him not to come. So the
Told him
chances
not
of
to
him, there's the chances of him randomly picking out this island out of many of the other islands that are nearby, probably not very high.
what he knows. I think
Yeah.
Fairlos is assuming the worst.
That's fair. I was just giving you that information. It's like, there's a lot of islands near here, and he doesn't know which one you're on. So
Yeah, because the last time we talked, I was still in a Kraken, and so I did not tell him where we were. You know what? That even as that goes through Fairlos's mind, I wouldn't have told him where we were anyway, because that might be the only way that I get him to not show up. Let's get ourselves some directions and a dinghy and make our way to the reactor.
Oh
yeah,
boy,
but let's talk with Meg first.
this would be so fun.
Meg is currently sitting at the big rock throne in the back of the town. And as she sees you guys start to walk up, she goes, "Oh my god, it's Honey again!"
Bonjour! Oh, let's see,
Oh.
let's see. Oh, very nice. You look, it almost makes your cheeks look a little rosier today. You look ravishing.
I think you might be my favorite.
Oh, I just know what to appreciate. What can I say?
Well, I gave some I honestly, I already gave the instructions to Reginald. I just wanted to see you guys again and make sure you were going to be okay before you left.
You are too fun. We should have had you come with us last night. Oh, what a missed opportunity.
I'm not allowed to go drinking anymore. It gets a little rough. And
Anymore.
I've gotten into a lot of trouble.
Oh, at some point, you and I are going to sit down and have a big talk about that. I love hearing about people's wild youth.
Well, before that happens, we'll be on our way. Just to give you a little bit of a warning, in case it actually happens, my brother and a companion of his are searching for us. If they happen to show up, they are expected. They are good people. They're not pirates. His name is Fro. He looks like me, except it's not me. And Charles is... And Fro will do the thing that tall people do, and where she just kind of puts her hand all the way down, much shorter.
Oh, okay. Well, if they show up, I'll make sure and let them know that you're okay and that you're going to deal with a extremely dangerous.
We're just
thing.
going to go deal with a little problem.
I would appreciate Essequah, it's kind of up to you when it comes to Charles, but as far as my brother is concerned, you could tell him to wait here for us to return.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe also don't tell them what we're gonna do. But yeah, Fairless, I don't know a lot about your brother, but from your reactions to his messages to you, do you think he's gonna be a little bit more, I'm assuming weapons here, but do you think he's gonna be a little bit more swing first, ask questions later?
Not 100%. He doesn't. He assumes everyone's a friend,
Okay.
but he's not gonna wait to make sure if necessary. And my concern is that if he stumbles upon us in a very delicate situation and misunderstands what's going on, in that case, then yes, he is a very much swing first and ask questions later. So he is not quite as
Open-minded?
Patient.
No, patient.
You know what? Let's go with patience because I love him dearly.
Well, I think it's time for us to take on the frog nappers.
Oh, you are coming with us for this part too.
I have the instructions, I have the directions, and I know the island better than I think you do, so
That's Reginald. That's Reginald talking.
it is.
Yeah, I for whatever reason thought that you were going to be coming to the school, but that we were getting instructions here, and your assistance is appreciated.
Of course. Perhaps he kind of like eyeballs back at Meg and says, "Perhaps this is a way to redeem myself." Silence is returned.
Just curious here. This is just it's so intriguing. What are the terms here? It seems like you're constantly, both of you, hinting at and dancing around the terms.
The terms of my curse, or the terms of our prior relationship.
Both.
Well, long story short, I may have ensorcelled the mayor of Frogtown into helping me steal artifacts.
Oh,
Reginald.
and have we learned the error of our ways?
Yes.
All right, well, then
Insight check.
Yeah, roll insight.
It kind of makes sense that this time I
Yeah.
do not roll a natural 20. 12.
Hard to tell.
Mm.
I assume you want to be like, how sincere is he in his contrition?
If possible, what I was hoping to figure out is, because he said he ensorcelled somebody to go steal artifacts, Fairlos is more concerned about the ensorcelling part, that he really does feel bad about that. The artifacts are less important, so yeah, that's what she's. Does he
even with a
feel bad
12,
about ensorcelling?
With it, well, with that specific ask and with a 12, I can tell you that he is lying about ensorcelling people.
oh,
Interesting. Fairlos will stay quiet and do nothing for the moment.
That he, and to be clear about what that means is that he did not ensorcel anyone. Although he is aware that the audience that he currently has believes that to be true, and so he's playing along with it.
Okay.
hmm.
That's yeah, okay.
So,
And what are the curse terms?
Standard frog kiss terms. A princess of a sufficiently powerful kingdom.
is that why you
kiss.
have been hanging out on the beach with what's her name?
With Cassandra?
Were you trying to get her to kiss you?
I thought that was all just in the stories. Those are
Oh,
actually
that is
real.
beautiful.
It's been 60 years. Not a peck.
Is it true love?
It's been 60 years.
Oh, buddy.
You poor thing. Reginald,
Oh.
we will find you a princess to kiss you and she will be hot.
Unless you prefer prince.
Princes
In
could
which case, this
also
is a
work.
much less fair
This
curse.
is true. I made an assumption.
Or a regent.
I don't.
Or
I
no
don't know.
one, frankly.
It could be either.
Frankly, a forced kiss is a strange thing to
I think so too.
premise
in
a
fact.
curse on.
Isn't it?
I thought the same thing.
I guess the assumption of the curse is that if it is someone who truly does love him, then it would not be a forced kiss. It is
Fair.
still what is weird is that it has to be somebody who is of a royal decree.
Yes.
That's a weird one.
Yes, assumptions of standing.
Reginald, I would do it myself if I could.
I mean, maybe he should.
I'm not a princess.
And is there a way to have true love if you are ultimately seeking a certain outcome from that love?
Oh, that's an interesting question because you're putting a profit on it from the very beginning. So
You're
there's selfish
there's-
motivation.
There's an immediate
You
basis
really are.
for the relationship.
You really are a philosopher.
Oh, she is. She's fun at parties.
Perhaps we should go save our people.
Yeah, we
Agreed.
can talk about the finer details of this on the way. I'm sure it'll be fantastic conversation.
I will find someone to kiss you. It will be remarkable. We'll set it up. I'll do a whole dinner.
Meanwhile, to the boat.
To the boat. I think.
Fairlos is itching to get out of earshot of everybody in Frogtown so she can ask a question she's dying to ask.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yeah. You guys can make
Alright.
your way out of
Yeah.
Frogtown.
So yeah, when we're not in earshot of any of the other frogs. So why do the people in this town think that you used magic to convince somebody to come with you?
The same reason why the curse requires true love's kiss. I ran away with Meg, and we stole some stuff, and it wasn't great. And
But
like,
you
to
did
get her
not
back-
actually
No.
use any magic to convince her to do that. She did that willingly.
Yeah, but in order to get her,
Off
to
the
make it so
hook.
she less trouble, I just said that I cast a spell on her.
So you took the blame for it.
He did.
Yes, but also it was my fault in the first place anyway. So
Alright, I just want to point one thing out. You are responsible for your choice. If you misled her, you are responsible for her making the choice she did. But if you were upfront and honest with her, she made her choice on her own.
I did tell her that I loved her, and it wasn't true.
You're an asshole.
Yes.
Does she know that you are lying about the using magic to convince her, or does she truly believe that that was
Oh.
a spell?
I honestly don't know. I haven't spoken to her since, in any serious way, since the incident.
Well, whether or not you are looking to remove this curse, I would highly recommend at least having a discussion with her about that, because if you're looking to get back into everyone's good graces, her knowing the truth of that situation may help a lot.
60 years, and you never had a conversation about this.
She still holds a grudge.
Gosh, I wonder why.
And you could remove that grudge with a single conversation. And yet, you don't have the conversation that would
Remove
sort
the
that out.
grudge. Yeah.
You have a serious fear of communication, my friend.
Reginald, she does not know that you lied to her about being under the effect of a spell.
I
So-
don't believe so.
So she thinks she was under this spell for all this time.
Yes.
Do you want her to know the truth?
I think it makes it easier for her to think she's a better person if she thinks that I magically made her do the things that she did.
So you are
It-
willing to bear the cost that comes with that choice?
I've been bearing it for at least 70 years now, so
But I thought
That's
it was
why-
60 just a moment ago.
no. 60 is when I first encountered Cassandra.
Ah, alright.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, we came to the island at the same time. 70
Right.
years ago, it was a complicated thing, and then 60 years ago, her and I got together, and not a single kiss in the entire time.
But how do you feel about her?
Her is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Right.
Well-
So you don't love her. So you've
But
basically
Which her?
Her Highness
Cassandra.
Cassandra. Thank you.
Cassandra. No, I may have misled her. I think I might have a problem.
I'm beginning to think you might.
I think you are concentrating
Is
on
there
the
a
wrong.
therapist in Frogtown?
I believe that is what we are doing right now. To be
Reginald?
honest.
But a single session is not going to
Reginald,
Agreed.
sort this.
we are going to do
We
everything
need to find
we
a more
can.
regular situation here.
In our time together, we will do everything we can to try to help you understand why the choices you have made thus far have been made.
You know, it's sort of hard until other people talk to you about it to understand the patterns of your own behavior. I can't believe I've done that twice, the same thing twice now, and not understood the consequence.
Indeed. I
Well,
think we
what's
just had a
wrong?
breakthrough.
I'd say third time's the charm, but we're on to you.
I don't think you're going to find the smooch right now.
You know
But are
what?
we being ensorcelled into stealing artifacts?
I don't know. I am feeling rather charmed at the moment.
I look over at Essequa.
What's up?
Are you feeling charmed?
Not in the ensorcelled way. I just think Reginald is a lovely frog who's made a lot of mistakes and has maybe begun to realize the consequences of his actions, but I don't feel I'm being compelled to do anything right now.
Okay, good. I feel like of the four of us, you would be the one to know if there was a spell cast on us.
You guys, by this point, have rode your way all the way over to the location that you were given. I had a liminal space between these two maps, but there's not a whole lot of stuff for you to do in it, so we're going to move directly to the next map.
I'm just picturing this frog, like, as we're bouncing down the road with that, suddenly I am facing the consequences of my own actions.
or like understanding why.
Just
the
that
patterns of behavior
wide-eyed
kind of thing,
realization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like wider-eyed than a frog should be.
I'll mind the canoe. I'm probably not going to be a whole lot of help up there, but good luck, and I'll make sure that the canoe stays safe. And he pulls his knife out and holds it.
Appreciate you, Reggie.
And when we get, so he's taking us to the other island.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
taking you straight to the location that you guys were given by the
Okay. Excellent. Is there anything else you can tell us about what we're gonna find up ahead, or at this point is it all a mystery?
All I know is the location that I was given, and
When do we need to drink the juice?
I would drink it now.
Ooh. Take one and pass it.
I'll make sure that Rivulet gets it last, so that way not only does Rivulet get a hold of the flask, but if there's anything left in it, that they have the opportunity to stash it for potentially making more later.
Cool.
You guys make your way up the beach towards the location that you were given. You're going to come in on the left-hand side of this map. You start to see a boat anchored just off the beach. A rowboat, and 3 living people, all 3 of which you saw before. 2 of them are Yuan Ti, and one of them is a dwarf. And on the beach, not just bullywugs and frogs, there are maybe a dozen and a half, 18 or so bodies lying in various states. They might be unconscious. They don't appear to have any obvious wounds. And as you guys get onto this level, like you approach this map and you get to where the map approach is on the left-hand side, you start to taste blood in the air.
Ugh. No.
I am... Sorry, I just clicked on the wrong Explorer window. I have like
That's
8
okay.
of them open.
When we taste the blood in the air, can I use that and looking at the bodies, because we know one of the deadly things on this island is the divine radiation.
Yeah.
Do I know that that's not necessarily anything that's going to show physically? Or is it
You do.
the kind of thing that will show physically?
I'm going to let you take a check for this.
Okay.
Yeah. What is, out of these 3 things, what is your best? I'm going to bet it's insight. But out of insight, investigation, or history, what's your best skill?
Definitely insight. I'm going to be honest, I was kind of gearing for medicine because I was hoping that
That's
I
good
could
too.
figure out,
Do a medicine.
I could figure
Yeah.
out that, but also, do I think any of these people are actually
That's
alive?
good too. Do medicine then.
That's a 15.
A 15. With your background of, reading books from the old Kasari days, and a 15, ionizing radiation makes makes the air taste like metal.
So we're tasting iron.
And it doesn't leave. It doesn't. it can leave a mark once the bodies start to decompose, but extremely high levels of radiation, like acute doses, your body doesn't have time to even break down before you die.
Yeah, okay. And from at least the distance that we are at the moment, do any of the forms on the ground look like they might still be alive?
None of them are moving.
Okay. The three that are standing there, how do they look? Knowing that I'm not looking for necessarily physical signs of an illness, but do they look like they're sick? Do they look like
the
they're...
Yuan-Ti look healthy.
Okay.
The dwarf looks a little worn down. But
Are there
he
any...
doesn't... Go ahead.
Are there any wounds on them?
On them?
Yes.
Colin does have an open wound on his arm.
Okay.
That is, yeah.
And one last question. The bodies, are they all frogs? Are they a mixture of people? Are they all pirates?
There are 5 frogs and 1 bullywug body amongst them.
Okay.
Which means that you're missing a frog and a bullywug.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of them are other various races that, from their outfits, might have been companions of the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to loot that body.
Which body? There are 18.
Starting with the dwarf.
I
No,
also
no.
These are they're
Collins-
alive.
Oh, they're
Yeah, yeah,
alive.
Yeah. I'm giving you a view of what's in front of you. You're about
I
to
misunderstood. Okay.
You're about to have a conversation.
Okay, I thought they were bodies. I'm sorry. I completely
There are
misunderstood.
bodies, but they're not shown
Yeah.
on the map. There's a bunch of bodies on the
Okay,
ground, but then
okay.
there's 3 alive, conscious people.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was a little bit. I thought maybe that would be going a little bit too far. And putting
Just
those on the map.
walk up and start robbing the dead bodies. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you guys are walking up, and this is probably going to be something you'll hear before you quite get up to it, Colin is in an argument with Cayman and Cass. They all were introduced to you before. I think you can probably see their names. If not, I'll fix it for you so you can. But they all are having an argument. Cayman and Cass are saying they should leave the island, and Colin is saying no, there's a lot of valuable stuff here and we should stay.
As we approach, we have talked amongst ourselves and with the frogs about a lot of old history that a bunch of us know because of being smart and reading books and also divine things. How widespread knowledgeable is radiation poisoning to everybody else?
Not
Pause for one
very.
moment. I think we lost.
Okay.
No, we lost Latia.
Yeah, I was hoping she would just come back real quick.
Now everybody's just going to have to deal with seeing my mouth in one screen and my eyes in another.
Do we want to go to a Be Right Back screen, or do you want to hang out here? Do we have a Be Right Back screen?
We can in 1 second. Oh wait, yeah, we do.
Excellent. Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
thank you.
We'll
All right,
be
we'll be
right
back in just a moment, gang.
after these. We will continue to pause.
Heyo, we're good.
Are we on or wait? Hold on.
We
are we
are.
back or are we not back?
I have to put it into studio mode. So little production thing. I have to put it into studio mode, and I always hit the wrong button, and then remember I have to hit the transition button because it's in studio mode, and it's a whole thing.
Gotcha. Just to be
It's
clear,
okay.
we are back now.
We are back. Yes.
Yeah, I can see us.
Yes.
The radiation got me.
All
I'm
of
back
that
now.
explanation was on air.
Yeah.
But as you guys start to approach, they stop their argument, and Colin kind of turns over to you and goes, "Couldn't wait, could you?"
My curiosity was piqued. What can I say?
All right.
But
Shadows are getting long. Let's do this.
well, no, wait. We found out some information, and we actually came to tell you you might want to get off the island. This place will kill you.
Pharaoh's
No
will
shit.
just point.
Like no shit.
No shit.
I think he's
Yeah.
being sarcastic.
But
We're
if you
here.
were thinking you were going to be able to stick around and continue to work, some people are going to be more resistant to this than others, but it's going to get everybody.
You're starting to feel a little tired? Little sick in your stomach when you wake up in the morning? Skin feel a little loose?
Listen, Colin, we didn't sign up for this. Everyone's dead. Everyone except for us and like Rixton. We should just go. Huh.
There is nothing here that you're going to want more than your life, and staying here is not going to end well. It's just taking all of you longer to succumb to what they succumbed to. We
I've
are
been
not
on
looking
this.
we are not looking to fight you on this. We're not looking to stop you from leaving. We're here to get you gone and find out what happened to everybody. So if you can at least tell us where the other two, where the other frog and the bullywug are, so we can try to rescue them.
We just sent them inside.
Would you be willing to just walk away then? Because we're gonna go inside to try to rescue them.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
And you will have disadvantage on this.
I would like to assist her.
Actually,
May
let-
I? Oh,
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I'd love to help this by boosting any bits of untruth that we may have been sort of using to help urge this
Understandable.
along.
Well, I was gonna say, you were technically rolling with both advantage and disadvantage at the same time. So, what I mean by that is, and you guys can give help for this anyway, but you're already rolling with advantage and disadvantage. So,
So it's
Colin,
just a flat roll, really.
no. Let me explain this. Roll it as a disadvantaged roll. The highest roll is going to convince Cayman and Kess, who are already very well predisposed to believe you.
Interesting.
Okay.
The
all right.
lowest roll is the one you're going to try to use to persuade Colin.
All right, so I rolled a 10 and a 13, and for persuasion I get a +1. So it's an 11 and a 14.
The 14 is absolutely again. The DC for Cayman and Kess was already pretty low, and 14 is more than enough to get them to.
Jump ship.
How about we just meet you guys in Frogtown?
Wait a second. In terms of how radiation works in this world,
Mhm.
are they now
Their
radioactive?
clothes are, for sure. But I'm not
So if
entirely
we
sure
send
how
them to
much.
Frogtown, they're
They I don't believe, and this is just from my limited out of game knowledge, they can still be around people for a small period of time, but if they are constantly around someone else, they're still giving off radiation. It's not going to be enough to bring someone to their level of poisoning, but it can potentially
dealing
make
with
other
a-
people sick.
We're dealing with an intersection of science and magic.
Yeah.
And the intersection of science and magic says this, as I just said. For Cayman and Kess, their bodies are not irradiated even a little bit. Their clothes, however,
Yeah.
are heavily irradiated. I will say you guys are picking up a little bit of radiation too, but you haven't been here as long as they have. So, like, you don't have dangerous levels of radiation coming off your clothes yet.
Okay.
But for sure, and if you have magic items or armors or anything like that, just for mechanics reasons, we're not going to bother radiating your armor and having to replace it later.
Thank you.
Or your weapons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But, and if you'd like to have left your, other types of gear behind in the canoe, that might have been a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't plan on camping on this island.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be fine, no matter what.
Okay.
Just from a mechanics status. Cayman and Kess, though, and honestly, I think you guys have done enough checks, especially you, Frelos, for the medicine and for the radiation thing of this, to know that their clothes are heavily irradiated if they've been here for a while.
Okay. Fairlos is also a little worried about why would they even want to go back to Frogtown, irregardless of the,
I mean,
the clothing.
you realize if you go back to Frogtown and you do not have the residents of Frogtown returning with you, that may cause some problems.
Then we will wait for you, and we don't know how to. We actually don't know how to sail a ship.
You met us on a beach. Meet us on
Yes.
that beach.
Okay. And they will leave, so you don't have to worry about them. But Colin is going to fight you. Initiative.
Actually.
Yeah.
Well, does Colin say anything after we try
Yeah,
to...
I was gonna try to talk to him.
He doesn't. No, yeah, because after you made your roll and you made your persuasion check, he literally just whips those axes out and starts going to work.
Okay,
Dang.
then... Alright, because I'm gonna... Okay.
Did you have something else? I'm sorry.
As soon as he looked like he was gonna be aggressive at all, I was gonna hold person on him.
Then do it. Yeah, do it before he gets a chance to. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so he needs to make a wisdom saving throw DC 13. Because, yeah, Fairlos was looking to see...
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you were on the lookout for it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You said a wisdom saving throw DC 13?
Yes.
13.
Drat.
All right, let's get his initiative in.
I tried.
It was a good effort.
It
I
was.
watched. It was great.
I tried to stop you, and now she'll
That's a
heft her
natural
hammer.
20 on my side.
Oh,
Heck
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, you see her try to cast the spell, and when he doesn't stop, she then hefts her hammer and says, I guess I'm doing this the old-fashioned way.
All right, I'm having the error trying to roll, so I'm just going to have to do it
Yeah, we'll just-
manually.
This shouldn't take very long. He's very weak.
Yeah.
All right. You said you had a natural 20 on your end, Rivulet. What was the
I did some at
total?
22.
22.
Where is the thing?
Colin rolled a natural 20 as well, but he only has +1, so he will not go first.
My dice disappeared.
And
the heck?
Oh,
Oh,
20 is just having problems today.
It's needed a little hugs. I know why. Hang on. Let me try it
No,
now.
if you have to just roll in the chat.
Nope, it's working now.
Sweet. Oh, another 22. What is your dexterity bonus? Or what is your dexterity score?
Dex is 14. It's a +2.
And Rivulet, what's your dexterity?
I am a 14 plus 2.
I'll go after
Nice.
her. She can go first.
Okay. Let's go ahead and order this. Move Rivulet to the top.
And I'll put the turn order in chat.
Yep. We
Thank
got,
you.
yeah, I was about to say it out loud, then I was like, wait, no, you just said you were going to put it in chat. All right, Rivulet, it is your turn. Let me turn the grid on. Again, this will not take us very long, I don't think. Let's move everybody to a square.
So I don't have this up. Do I need to pull this up now?
You are about
To
5,
get
10,
my
15.
camera
Well, I'm going
wonky.
to tell you, you are about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away from Colin right now, and he's the only combatant on the field.
And there's
Okay.
not really much else around that we
Yeah.
have to worry
Do
about
you-
at this point.
Do you have your
so-
phone on you?
If you want to, if you want to
yeah,
cast
no.
something or do something, you could absolutely do that without having to open up the map here.
There you go.
Let's go ahead and let's see here. Let's pull out Snonky.
Yay!
Wait a minute.
Out comes Snonky, everybody's favorite water droplet.
Where would you like him to be dropped? Next to Colin or next to you? Or in the middle?
Next to
I'm so excited I got to use the chat command.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, the hydrate thing.
Don't forget to hydrate.
We love our snonky.
Hydrating.
I don't think a monster
what
counts
do I
as
wanna do? Sorry.
hydration, but
If you drop it next to Colin, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
do,
want to drop
like-
it next to Colin, so I immediately do the damage from the fiery teleportation
Okay.
as it lands. So as it lands, it. Let me pull up my snonky notes. Sorry, I was not prepared for my turn to go
No, you're
first.
fine.
We all needed to hydrate anyway.
When Snonky arrives, Colin needs to make a DC 11 saving throw or take fire damage.
He fails. I believe it's cold damage for yours, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, cold damage. And then we will go from there. So first up is the 2d6. 1, 2. Roll. Okay, so 9 right off the bat as a chili splash hits, and then as a bonus action, I would like to do the extra damage from Snonky. I will command Snonky to use
Snonk him,
Sorry,
Snonky.
sorry, I'm
Kate.
trying to
No, you're fine.
I'm not I'm
Yeah. Do what you gotta do.
I just
I'm
liked the
meanwhile-
phrase snonk him.
Also, it gave me a chance to double check that, like, no, those birds I'm hearing are from Roll20. They're not us.
The dinosaurs are also from Roll20.
I haven't
There's
heard the
a lot
dinosaurs
going on.
just yet.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I will do my the splishy splashy.
Okay. What's the
It's a I will roll it here.
the dex check on my end or what?
No, it's an attack.
Okay, cool.
And so it was a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And it's a 1d6 plus 2. So it's 3 additional points of damage.
Gotcha.
And that is what I will do. And then Snonky gets to take a turn after me.
Yes.
And Snonky will now port over to the other side of Colin. And again, it's going to be fiery teleportation. So it's
Gotcha.
another dex save.
Oh, darn it.
And
Nonky's giving this guy a washing.
yeah.
Does a 16 pass? I think it does.
16 passes, yep.
And this is no damage on a success.
And that's no damage, yeah.
All right.
And that is it.
Okay. Dominique.
I am going to. Dominique kind of tilts her head a little bit, watches Snonky go up and do his thing, and she decides that she's just gonna try to throw Colin off a little bit, and calls out, "Colin, you've stayed here to the point you're looking a bit patchy. You might want to attend yourself in a mirror." And that's vicious mockery. So I need a wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
DC 13 wisdom saving throw. 16 passes. I believe it's 0
Yes, it
damage
does.
on vicious mockery when you succeed. So, anything else?
I don't think so. Let me just double check just to be sure. Actually, yes. I will turn to Furlos, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say, look, I know you have a lot of pressure on your shoulders because I keep making comments about your brother and he is on the way here, but I don't want you to worry. You are my friend and I am not going to betray you. But if you need to get that energy out, I recommend hitting that man. and you get bardic inspiration. So that is 1d6.
Awesome. Fairlos will nod, and she is hefting her hammer in both hands.
So Colin is going to do something that is going to make all of you angry and take 2 battle axe attacks against Snocky.
Well, now, I mean, he was gonna die before, but now he must die fast.
Now he's getting fine red misted.
Let's see here. The 16 hits. The 12 just misses.
Wait. I have reactions.
Barb reactions.
I'm about to get silvery barbs. Darn
There
time.
we
You
go.
are about to get silvery barbed.
Yes!
Yes.
Okay.
Silvery
I'll roll
barded.
again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll again. We'll be using the damage from the first roll if it still hits,
Okay.
but the attack roll. So, yeah, he misses. You've made him miss.
You.
Excellent.
He basically goes to
Snocky
swing,
splits
and Dominique
into a
is
high
just
five.
like, motherfucker!
God damn it!
No one touches Snocky.
No.
Furlos' turn.
Fairless wastes no time, marches directly up to Colin, and here comes the Warhammer with both hands. And just because I'm gonna throw the Bardic Inspiration on there just to make sure that's an 18 to hit.
Your 16 would not have hit, and an 18 is his armor class.
Excellent. He is gonna take a 13 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Is he still alive?
He is.
I'm going to spend my bonus action and cast Spiritual Weapon, which will then take a moment to attack him as my spiritual hammer appears. That's only a 15 though, so that
That
misses.
does not hit, no.
Okay.
right.
And as that all happens, bam, bam, hammers come down, and just real low, just a real growl. You should have left. Now I'm done.
That was kind of.
You should have died.
If I had a nickel for every time I have heard that, I'd have a nickel.
I was gonna say, how many nickels would you have about that?
Essequa, it's your turn.
Tis my turn.
I'll give you a little bit of a tip here. He looks very, very hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna just kind of walk up to him. I'm just gonna say, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll just scooch. I think I can get here. Yeah. I have a lot of options.
That
Actually,
does sound like a wizard.
Yeah.
It does sound like me. I'm not gonna move up there. I will not have done that. Because I'm just gonna like look around. Furlos is very large, so it's kind of making it difficult for me to see. So I'm gonna move up a little bit, but I'm still gonna say, you know, Colin, I think after all is said and done, I think maybe you just really need to chill. And my hand comes out, but a hand comes out of my hand and goes to like tap him on the head as I cast Chill Touch.
What's the save for that?
It's an attack roll, so it's coming
All
from
right.
me.
Yeah.
Rude! It turned from a 13, which is what I needed.
Oof.
A 10 does not hit.
The 10 does not hit. That's okay. I don't have any bonus action things that I can do. So I will just stay here.
I don't know. I think there's poetic justice here in Rivulet getting the chance to take this guy out who tried to
think
attack
so.
Snonkey.
I think
He
so.
is, by the way, at this point, from all the damage you've done and all of the extreme hurt he has, he's going to go down to one knee and start coughing up blood.
Can I, since it's just interacting with an object, can I pull out my viol and start playing a dirge?
Sure.
Awesome.
Oh, dark.
Rivulet, it is your turn.
We really want to kill him, though. We just want to
Yes.
knock him out.
He
I wanted to
hurt.
knock him out before.
But then he tried to attack Snonkey.
Yes.
Got it.
I am going to pick up a stone off the beach.
Ah.
And I will, or I'll pick up 3 just in case, and I will sort of coat them in ice. And I am going to sling one at him. And
I
see
like
what
it.
happens. Oh yeah.
What's the attack?
It's an attack roll. It's a 24.
Oh,
Yeah.
20. Yeah, that'll hit.
We love
And,
to see it.
So 7 bludgeoning.
You're killing him with this. If you'd like to describe how you'd like to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna, for flavor's sake, I'm gonna have Snonky with the assist on this. Snonky is going to, can I get it to go through Snonky from my placement?
You teleported Snonky to the other side of
To the
Collins.
other
He's
side.
actually on the far side.
I didn't know if it was side to side or if it
Yeah.
was behind. Okay. Snonky's gonna catch it anyway. I'm gonna throw it over, over Colin. Snonky's
Tag
gonna
team
catch
rules.
it and increase the ice around it so it becomes almost like a snowball. And then straight through.
Yeah. Straight through him.
Get
you leave
snonked.
a hole. You leave a hole about that size in his chest, and he just.
Yeah,
collapses
get
straight
snonked.
get
That's
snonked.
knocked.
And Furlos, we're about. I think we are at a
Actually,
good point before you go inside here.
Can I knock him out, not kill him?
If
I
you'd like
don't
to try,
I can pull the
you
last
can.
punch and
Let me put it this
not
way.
do lethal,
Well, let me
right?
put it this way. You can definitely not kill him with your attack, but the environment you're in and the damage he's already taken from the radiation that he's been exposed to
Valid.
might
Yeah,
end
I
up killing him anyway.
This might end up being an unintended kindness.
I don't think he's going to win this fight on any level.
It's up to you. But I'm just saying that there's a good chance that he's probably gonna die anyway, no matter what you do. But-
Okay. Then,
But like
then that's fine.
morality-wise, if Rivulet wants to pull,
Yeah.
we're totally behind you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think going around and recklessly killing people is the
That's
way
perfectly
to handle
reasonable.
our problems.
Then you just beat him in the head. He's wearing a helmet. You beat him in
giant
the
snowball bonk to the head.
head. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's knocked unconscious on the ground. And that's we're gonna go ahead and end our session here with one more note. Furlos,
Yes.
before you guys go in, if you decide you want to go in, because that would be our next bit, and that's gonna take a while. Furlos, you see on the actually all of you see it because you can all be moving up at this time. You see on the entrance to this skull-looking cave a glowing message in 3 languages: Old Kasari, Elvish. No, I'm sorry, not Elvish. Sylvan, and Druidic.
Okay.
And that message, because I know one of you does speak Druidic,
Yes,
Um,
do.
is this. Let me put this in your note. And I know you don't have the virtual tabletop open, so I'll read it to you. This is not a place of honor. No noble deeds are remembered here. No tools of value, nothing revered. Only sickness and death and fear. And that is flashing in front of the entrance to this cave.
But it's unfortunately in languages that probably most people don't speak anymore.
I don't speak
The only-
any of them.
Yeah, the only one who would be able to understand that is, Rivulet.
Mm-hmm.
You hear from the inside of the cave what your players at least would recognize as a klaxon alarm, and a message in all of those 3 languages, again repeating after the other. Reactor meltdown imminent. Please
Horse.
Please wait for a verified cleric technician. Cleric technician expected in 9, 9, 9, hours.
So
And
we're
that's
going
the
in
end of our
here?
Me,
session.
I'm just.
This just turned into a game of Paranormal.
I'm not fixing this thing. I'm just hitting it with a bigger hammer. So don't look at me.
And that's the end of our session, I believe.
I'm so
I
tickled.
love
I'm
this
so
game.
excited.
I love this.
Oh, jeez.
I love how
let's-
everybody is on Team Snonky. Like,
I want you to know, I've been in multiple games in where at the end when there's a thing, and it's like, well, we can't keep the thing. We should get rid of the thing. What are we gonna do with the thing? I have had my character multiple times be like, no, we need to leave a sign that this place is evil, or leave a sign that
Or
this
Kira's
is a bad
been here.
place. This is my other character
Someone-
being vindicated.
Yep, someone left the sign.
Someone left a sign.
This is not. I don't know how familiar you guys might be with it. But this is not a place of honor. Is a sort of a theoretical, like, what do we do in 1,000 years to warn people off of nuclear waste?
yeah.
And that's literally one of the messages they came up with. This is not a place of honor.
That's
no
where I
deeds
remembered
of
it
importance
from.
are remembered
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it, and I was like, I know that. I know I've read that somewhere. What is this pulling from?
Right, it sounded super familiar.
Yeah.
Let's credit our map makers and music people and token people. Cartography by Shay and Peku. Cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek46. When this goes up on YouTube, there will be links in the description. I believe there are more people to thank. Katie, if you would like to
Yes.
handle that half.
Yes, we would like to thank our moderators, Billith and Strike Red Kite. Thank you guys so much for helping us out this evening. We love you. We appreciate you. We would also like to give a big thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms for giving us this wonderful code, which you can type !code into chat if you haven't gotten it yet, or it's on the screen. It's Explical! So thank you so much,
What
Idle
was that, Katie?
Champions. And it's Podcow!
It's supposed to be words. It's supposed to be a bunch of 4-letter words, and we've tried to get rid of all the bad ones, but every once in a while, I think our system goes, oh, you want words that aren't bad? Well, let me just give you word salad.
Here are 3 4-letter words that probably won't get you in trouble.
Exactly. That's pretty much it, yeah.
But we do appreciate them giving us this wonderful code, and they are running a new event this week. It is part of the, oh god, I had it in my mind. Lauren?
We're in Spies and Detectives. We're right in the middle of Founders Day, so go ahead and pick up Umberto and Aeon, and you can also get stuff for a whole bunch of other champions that are related to the event, but Umberto and Aeon are the new champions, and you should definitely check them out. I'm gonna figure most of the people who are watching this right now probably already unlocked them, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you should go and get those champions. idlechampions.com.
And a real quick shout out to a mutual friend of ours. If you are familiar with Hope, she played Penelope Halfpint. She has a new children's book out, and this ties in because you can get Penelope in Idle Champions, but she's got a new children's book coming out called Penelope Makes a Friend.
I love it.
And it
So
was
happy.
actually illustrated by, am I allowed to say who they are, Lauren?
Oh yeah, she tagged Luke, yeah.
Okay. Luke, who is Lauren's partner, illustrated it, and it is delightful and wonderful, and I have absolutely no doubt it's going to be amazing. So,
It's adorable.
July 26th. it
July
comes out.
26th, that's coming out, and so you can get her Asimar skin for Penelope in Idle Champions, and then get the book, and you'll be all Penelope'd out.
Also,
Yay!
moderators.
We got the
We got it.
moderators.
Yes.
Can
That
we
was the
thank our
first.
moderators?
Yeah, I
Oh,
said
okay.
them first.
Gotcha.
I love mods.
But always good to double check.
All the love to the
Alright.
mods.
Unless I'm missing something, I think that's it. We will see you all next week. I still don't have an outro, so don't die. And we'll see you.
Well, we're trying.